Okay, what's up, everyone? So, some of you guys might have seen the Golden Guardians video. We actually put out a video on kind of this topic, like what do the Golden Guardians members think of Nick All-Stars Brawl? Right? We had me, Nun, Zane, and PB. Basically, we had a little. We did a competition in this game. We did a four-man tournament between the four of us, which was a lot of fun. And then we actually got on a call and we talked about Nick All-Stars Brawl for an extended amount of time. So I'm going to give the good, basically the good and the bad, and I'm going to answer the question that I've been getting a lot actually in interviews. Actually, I talked with the guy from IGN, I talked with the guy from Action Esports, and I keep getting this question: are the Smashers all going to move over to Nick All-Star Brawl? What do the Melee players think of Nick All-Star Brawl? And I also saw, for example, I saw a tweet from Kadoran, who's a Marth player that obviously is extremely good, and Kadoran was saying like, Nick All-Stars Brawl makes me appreciate Melee more. Made me realize how good I have it with Melee. And I want to dig into that a little bit because I don't think anyone's really super duper talked about this yet. I want to talk about what I love about Nick All-Star Brawl, but also what I don't really like and what I love about Melee and why I think Melee's had the longevity that it's had, right? First of all, the good with Nick All-Star Brawl. This game is extremely fucking fun. This game is super fucking fun. The rank ladder is awesome. I love being able to, dude, just having a number attached to I love just being able to play matches. I love just being able to play matches and have a simple ranking system, and it's just a number and it goes up and down. I love that. I can't wait for Slippy Rank. I think Fizzy is trying to make a rank system that's a little more involved than just a number that goes up and down. I'm not 100% sure, but I love the way I can just get a competitive game and it feels good. The netcode is pretty good. It's not perfect. I don't think it's as good as Slippy. I don't think it's good as, say, Guilty Gear Strive. There are sometimes you get some weird, kind of awkward kind of connections, even when the ping number is kind of low. But overall, I would say the netcode's good. And I think for Smash Ultimate, if you're a Smash Ultimate player, you're coming into this game and you're probably feeling like, oh, okay, this feels way better as an online experience than playing Smash Ultimate. Unless your PC is a potato. That would be like maybe the one thing. And even then you can play on the Switch, right? I think the vision the developers have is really promising. I think they care about competitive play. As I record this video, there's actually a tournament going on Hungrybox's channel where he has one of the devs, Thaddeus, and it's really awesome that they're embracing the competitive community and they're really letting people go all out with this game. But at the same time, I was thinking about it, and I have some gripes and these are not the gripes that I think a lot of you guys are going to expect. I actually haven't heard anybody raise these exact concerns or issues with the game yet. The first thing that I really realized I missed about Melee was the variation. And I think it's probably this is gonna sound weird to a lot of you guys that are like Smash Ultimate players, for example, because it's like, well, isn't Melee just Fox only Final Destination? Like, isn't Melee a game where the low tiers are pretty bad, the top tiers are really good, and we've had so many years of kind of the same characters running tournaments, right? Like Fox, Marth, Falco, Sheik, Jigglypuff, Captain Falcon, Peach, etc., etc. But the thing that I think is really cool about Melee is it's twofold. So one, you can take a character like Marth and you can take a character like Falco, for example, and they combo completely differently. They're completely different characters. They function completely differently. You've got Peach with her float mechanic. Even Fox and Falco, who are clones of each other, they're clone characters. They're supposed to be identical movesets. You can watch those two characters fight for 3 minutes and the way they operate is just completely different. Falco will try to zone you out with lasers and his strong aerials that combo you up and down, and then he can kill you with a forward smash. Fox is very much grab heavy. His shine sends you downwards and outwards. He's going to look for a knockdown. They combo completely differently. Fox is looking for a lot of tech chases with things like up airs on platforms. Falco's looking for shine wavelands. He's trying to get you to miss your techs with down airs and things like that, right? They combo completely differently, right? And what I've kind of seen in Nick All-Star Brawl is that there feels right now to me like a golden paradigm of what a strong character in Nick All-Star Brawl kind of combos like. And it feels like a lot of the top tiers already, they feel like or not even top tiers, honestly, a lot of characters across the cast, they feel like it's like tell me if you've seen this combo before. It's like nair, 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 downer, light downer off the stage, light downer, light downer, light downer, and then you recover. Triple dip downer. HBox calls it the triple nipple, right? You've got a lot of, down air, light downer spam. If the opponent misses their tech, you go for jab reset into more follow-ups. you know, and you're hoping to get them off stage that way. In in contrast with Melee, where I feel like all of the characters in the game, for the most part, have pretty different goals, and when you watch them combo, the characters just look completely different for each other. Their combos look different. The way they move in the air is very, very different. More different than it is in a game like Nick All-Stars Brawl. And I'm kind of judging this game through the lens of the fact that, yeah, the game has only been out for like 3 days. So undoubtedly some of you guys are going to say, like, dude, give the game some chance, give the game some time. Obviously it could develop a lot, it could change a lot. But I also think some of you probably know what I'm talking about. You know, I think there's a lot of, you know, there are characters that kind of fit. I feel like there's a mold of like what your character needs to do to be really, really strong. And if your character isn't doing those things, your character isn't a strong character. I think Toph is a great example of this, right? Toph doesn't, I've heard it described. I talked with one of the strongest Krag players in the world, who's been giving Toph a try, NASB, and he described it best as Toph is a ground-based zoner in an aerial rushdown game. So you kind of have a character that's just doesn't fit the mold of what a successful Nick All-Star Brawl character needs to be able to do. And I have, you know, certain things that I wish were different. You know, for example, I got really excited when I saw the block mechanic, and I was thinking maybe I can get some crazy combos into like juggles into I jump and create a block and do a smash attack in the air, a grounded smash attack, which is obviously much more powerful than the air strongs of Toph's, which, well, don't kill at 200. And, you know, I was hoping maybe I could get setups into make a block and then I do a smash attack in the air, or a strong attack, a grounded strong attack in the air, and I KO them that way. But of course, there's no way to combo like that. And it really does feel like, you know, I think the reason this is because hit stun is very universal in this game. And this is one of the points I wanted to make. Hit stun is very universal. And what I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, a lot of moves have the same cadence. Like, a lot of combos have the same cadence. Like, bop, 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 bop. It's like there's a very kind of set rhythm as to how characters combo in this game. In contrast with a game like Melee, where there are weak moves and strong moves on characters, where, you know, you'll see really like fast frenzied, you know, strings of moves being put together, and then Marth hits like a tipper forwarder that they DI in, and they pop out, and you get that effect where like time almost freezes for a second. He's all the time in the world to go up for that smooth Ken combo downer, right? Or Falcon hitting like a neutral air and they DI in, and he can go out there and really, I mean, I'm sure you've seen all the nun combos, you know, and you can go out there and just do whatever the hell you want. It's just, you're just sitting over them like, you got to hold my knee. You know what I mean? There's like fast rhythm, slow rhythm, and it varies a lot over the course of a match. I love the variance in timing of what moves do what in terms of their properties. And I feel like in Nick All-Stars Brawl, moves are overall very uniform. I mean, I played Toph for 3 hours, then I went to April, right? And I was like, oh, I completely understand how April works. I'm going to do my Toph stuff, but it's just way better. Because she's got a better up air, a better down air, a better neutral air, better air strongs. You know, and my 3-hour-old Toph was worse than my 10-second-old April. You know, so it's yeah, there's an archetype of what makes a great character in Nick All-Stars Brawl, and if your character doesn't conform to that, you're going to be struggling. I also worry about variance, I think, in terms of things like, you know, even stuff like throws, right? Like, do characters really have throw animations in this game? I feel like you don't really have, like, throw animations, right? Like, think about, like, Fox and Falco, when they shoot, they, like, throw you and they pull their gun out and shoot you up. You know, Mewtwo throws you forward and shoots a bunch of Shadow Balls after you, or you've got, like, Ness throwing you with his mind, Mewtwo throwing you with his mind. You know, Falcon's a great character. He just throws you into the fucking ground. And, you know, I just think that, like, it's not just from this is all to say that it's not just from a balance perspective, a gameplay perspective, because I think that's really important too. I think from a balance perspective, the top tier nature of certain tactics, certain strategies is really, really emblematic with how uniform some characters are. But I also think from a game feel perspective, what's up, Curly? I also think from a game feel perspective, it's just like, it feels like there isn't as much variation right now, and I worry that people will kind of get tired of certain things once the game gets optimized and fully fleshed out, because you're already seeing players like Void, right? Players like Thunder's Reign who are doing really, really optimal strings, And I think potentially once the initial hype wave of the game wears off a little bit, I think that people are already starting to kind of break this game open and really pushing characters to their, I'm not going to say their limit, because obviously it's an extremely young game, but like the fact that there are a lot of extremely reliable zero death setups this early in the game's lifespan is a little scary, a little scary for competitive longevity. But at the same time, I think at least right now we're all having a lot of fun. It feels like a race right now. It feels like a race to discover the most powerful stuff, bring it to the table. And I will say there's a ton of hope. I have a ton of hope because I think the devs are clued into the community, and I do think a lot of stuff is going to change. Not to put any pressure on the devs, because I think they're doing their hardest, but I think there's a lot of potential for stuff to change. My personal hope is that they add some variance into what constitutes a strong character in this game, because again, it feels like you can kind of just like even it even almost just feels like a numbers game right now. It's just like some characters just kill way earlier, some characters combo way better and have guaranteed follow-ups into their kill setups, and other characters don't. And some characters have huge neutral airs, right, like Leonardo, and other characters have Toph's neutral air that feels like an unfinished move. With the rock whip, not even having a hitbox, which a lot of people commented to me on Twitter. They felt like that was actually like a bug or like an oversight. Like the devs didn't finish working on the move, which is totally possible because Toph was the last announced character, right? Toph, they announced Toph like 2 days or a day before the game came out. So maybe the character literally might just be unfinished, which is basically the theory behind Melee Roy and Melee Game & Watch, why they're so lackluster. Is that those characters literally feel unfinished. So I'm hoping that's the case. But this is not just about, I don't even main Toph anymore. I'm actually a big T main, aka Powder Toast Man, aka Big Toast, aka Powder Toast Man. So I don't even really care about the Toph perspective anymore that much. I probably will go back to the character after a balance patch, but yeah, it's more just for the enjoyment from a spectator perspective. Is I worry that if there isn't more variance introduced to what kind of strategies and what kind of setups are good, that it might not be as fun for spectators in the long haul. But we'll see what happens. Again, very young game. What else do I really miss about Melee? This kind of ties into what I was just talking about, and this is something that I can't really fault the developers too much for, but it's something I want to mention because I just think I do miss it, and I love talking about this. I think it's so sick. Is the sound design in Melee. I think the sound design, and I'm not just talking about the fact that Nick All-Stars Brawl doesn't have voice acting or this, that, or the other. I'm talking about this, okay? I'm talking about how when I go into training mode, just to demonstrate this, Marth, I think, is the golden example of this, right? Like, you can hit people with these sorts of moves, these sword moves, right? But then there's the tipper, right? And it's got that, and you can really like hear that and feel it and go up for your Ken combo or whatever. And then, of course, the deep reverberating bass of Marth's tipper. Oh my god. Dude, not just the tipper forward smash too, like, can we just appreciate this for a second? Oh, dude. And when you hit your, like, Ken combos, like, I really like how much you can... I mean, I've always been a big fan of Melee sound design. Me and Scar have talked about it on commentary forever. When you hit a knee... Oh, you know what? I should even pull up. Hang on a minute. Let me open Melee up again. Hang on. Just... It hurts. Getting hit by it hurts. Oh, you know what I mean? It feels like it reverberates through your body. And dude, it's so like... Right? And yeah, of course there's, other factors. And I mean, I get it. The game was obviously, the devs did the best they can during the time frame and the budget they had. But it does contribute a lot to game feel, and I'm definitely just going to be singing Melee's audio design praises for a long time. But I will say ultimately that I think the audio design contributes to the original thing I said, which was the kind of the uniformity, right? It's got that uniform feel. Like I feel like most hits in this game have similar sound effects when it comes to the actual hit noise. Of course, you've got some goofy sound effects, like you've got your Nigel flying around making bird noises, and you've got the Powder Toast Man light up air where he has a little trumpet noise, the when he does his little salute, which I love, and I think that's cute, you know. I think it's it definitely gives some personality to the characters, but yeah, I can't stand Nigel noises. But no, I think it's really, really fucking cool. Have you talked at all about ground movement in this game? I talked about it in the Golden Guardians video. I don't mind the ground movement in this game from a design standpoint. I don't mind it from a design standpoint, and what I mean by that is there are workarounds with like how good wave dashing is in this game, and I think it's fine if the game is air dash centric. I think that's total, or even just aerial centric. I don't think the game needs to have dash dance to be good or to be fun. I think that they have designed their own game engine that works, and that's fine, right? I do miss the shit out of dash dancing. I really love how in Melee reacting is really powerful. You can react to your opponent. You don't just have to spam moves, and kind of whoever spams moves faster or more well placed is the one that wins, although a lot of players admittedly do play like this. You know, in Melee, I feel like when you play against the best players, you feel like they are reacting to everything you're doing, and you just can't get a hit in. And, you know, so far in, you know, in Nick All-Stars Brawl, that level of subtlety, it feels like it's hard to get again because there's no dash dance. There's no way to really, like, space around and whiff punish. You're usually just kind of putting your moves outside of the range of their moves and trying to get your hit that way. And I think that's fine. I think that's how the game is. We're comparing Melty Blood to Street Fighter, right? We're comparing an air dasher to a non-air dasher. Okay, Melee isn't really Street Fighter. Melee is a little more fast-paced or whatever, but you get what I'm saying. I think that from a design philosophy standpoint, I don't think there's any problem with that. But I do think there's a problem with the, I guess, lack of variance right now, in terms of characters and in terms of just both from an aesthetic standpoint and from like a strength standpoint, right? That's how I feel. Straight foot's okay, but nothing like dash dancing. I mean, dude, like, yeah, dash dancing is such a, oh, it feels so good. It's so tense, man. Can I tell you my favorite dash dancing story of all time? It was for top 8 at Apex 2014. It was this the tournament that me and Silent Wolf top 8'd in doubles. And it was game 3, me and Silent Wolf versus Kage and Axe, game 3. And this is the, dude, I don't know, if you've never been in this situation, you'll never know how it feels. It felt like a fucking eternity. So it came down to a one stock versus one stock 1v1 between Silent Wolf and Axe. Okay. A one stock, and so I was dead, Kage was dead, and we were just sitting there watching, hoping our teammate would win the 1v1, right? And dude, it was like they dash danced each other out without committing for like 45 seconds, but it felt like a fucking eternity. It felt like a goddamn eternity. I was watching them just dash dance, and like they really wanted to win, right? Because there's so much pressure because one stock to one stock, and like you don't want to commit and give Axe a grab, and Axe doesn't want to commit and get like, you know, dash dance, you know, drill grab and up to upper or something, right? So it's like, it was like, dude, I was so fucking clenched. I was like, just fucking praying. Like, no one was saying anything. You know, I didn't want to distract him. And they were just dash dancing for what felt like an eternity, and it was so tense. And I just feel like I'm never gonna feel that you're never gonna get that kind of interaction, you know, because you'll get intense situations that'll feel different in different ways. They'll feel intense for different reasons. But that sense of like zero commitment, just like looking for your one golden opportunity, you're just trying to stay as safe as possible, but also like maintain stage positioning. And like, you know that if you throw a single move out, like that could be the opportunity they need. Like, I miss that. Who won? Silent Wolf. That's the Silent Wolf versus Axe you haven't heard about. No one knows about that one. They only know about the Evo 4 stock on FOD, but they don't know about that one. Silent Wolf clutched it out. We went on to top 8, and then we lost to S2J and Shroomed for 7th. Hey, that's it for today's video. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And listen, I've got a goal of having more subscribers on YouTube than Hugs86. And if you'd like to help me achieve that goal, then just make sure you click that subscribe button down below. Thanks so much, and see you next time.